Media Group.
Welcome to the Falling Apart, a Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans with my husband, who is fully intact, Alan Evans.
Fully intact.
Well, as far as I know, I'm the one falling apart over here.
As far as you know.
Man.
A train in the house.
I literally walked in the studio, wasn't doing anything, and suddenly my ankle started killing me. I don't know what I did. And then I sat down and Alan said, "What's on your lip?" And I'm like, "It's zit cream. I have a huge pimple on my lip." And then yesterday, taking a nap, my teeth snapped shut as I was falling asleep, and I've got a hole in my tongue.
Should we add these to the list?
Yes.
Okay, so
This is I'm
involuntary knee-jerk reactions while napping. Is that an ailment?
Well, it's my teeth. I actually had somebody else tell me this happened to them because I talked about it on the Kid Craddock Morning Show.
Ashley said it
You know when you're falling asleep and you have that sensation you're falling and your whole body jerks?
Yes.
Every once in a while, I get this thing where my teeth will just clamp shut really quickly when I'm falling asleep. And for the first time, it happened, and I bit the hell out of my tongue. And you saw it.
I
had
did.
a huge hole in my tongue.
Huge.
And then just walking in here tonight, I don't know what happened. My ankle just started killing me. And now I've got a big pimple on my lip.
Got all kinds of problems in here.
What is happening over here?
You know, random gee-whiz information. I read one time that, and I don't know if this is true or not or can be substantiated, but it makes sense, that babies are only born with two fears. One, falling, like that's why we have an involuntary reflex when we have a dream and we feel like we're falling. You wake up, you know? And then two,
clamping your teeth shut? No.
loud noises.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, like if you throw a rubber snake at a baby, the baby isn't going to go crazy.
They don't know what a snake is.
They don't know what a snake is. All the other fears in life are learned.
Oh, interesting. That
Yeah.
is very interesting.
Through socialization. That's what I read one time. I don't know if that's true.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. But you know what doesn't make sense?
Me walking in the room and having my ankle suddenly start killing me for no reason whatsoever.
Exactly. You know, I've done that in the kitchen, and I was kind of poking fun at Kellie before she walked. I'm like, "What did you do?" And she said, "Nothing." I said, "So you were just walking?" She said, "Yes." So you were just walking, and your ankle twisted, or
it felt like I twisted it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
That's the sensation. Like my ankle is killing me right now.
Yeah, I've done that mostly in the kitchen.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing, because I'll walk over to the trash can and then swivel around and walk over to the coffee maker, and then it'll twist my knee. Like my knee will twist, like kind of pops out of socket.
I don't know, Alan. This is not good.
Remember when I went to the
boding well for us.
Remember when I went to the floor the other night? You're like, "What is wrong with you?" And I said, "I don't know. My knee just gave out." I think we have the same thing going on.
Oh, it's contagious.
This is wheels off.
This is what is
wrong?
off.
What is happening?
Maybe we should change the name of the podcast
Well, I don't know that we should do that, but
to Wheels Off.
yeah, a sandwich and some wheels off.
Well, maybe that's the title of this one at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always something a little wheels off. Speaking of, what are we going to talk about? I have letters. I have a few follow-up letters.
Okay, I've got a few
not many,
things.
but I have some letters.
I've got a few things I wanted to get into. You know, I did go prior to meeting my husband, Alan. I'm not talking to Alan right now. I'm talking to you listening. Prior to meeting my husband, Alan, I went through a bit of a cougar phase. I don't know if you were aware of that. You were aware of that, right, honey? I've mentioned it in the past. That little May-December romance. I was 16 years older than the young gentleman that I would, date off and on from time to time.
You're older than me, too.
Yeah.
For
I'm
those of you
4
that
years older than you.
Those of you that didn't know that.
4 years, but that's nowhere near 16 years older.
No,
but anyway.
that'd be 4 times more.
So anyway, it was very interesting when I saw this article. And I thought I'd bring it up because it's another cougar type situation, but it also involves one of your favorite things, which is golf. So Tommy Fleetwood, he won the FedEx Cup on Sunday, which you said is like the Super Bowl of golf, which I don't understand why that one is. Is that one of the you have the Masters, you have the US Open, you have what else?
The British Open.
The British Open.
And the PGA Championship.
So what is this one?
Not to golf everybody to death,
But this is how's
the
this a Super Bowl?
The FedEx Cup is for the top 30 players on the PGA Tour. They have to qualify to be in this tournament.
Okay.
They earn points all year. The top 30 get into this final tournament of the year, which is called the FedEx Cup. So
that's why it's the Super Bowl, because it's the best of the best.
It's the top 30 players, and they're playing for the biggest prize money of the year. The winner, Tommy Fleetwood, who's an English golfer, he won $10 million.
Yeah, and he's
$10 million.
He's also an Olympic golfer. He
got a silver in the Olympics.
But has he ever won a tournament before? This isn't his first tournament he's won, is it?
So Tommy Fleetwood has won on the European tour. He's won on international tours. He has never won until this last weekend. He had never won on the PGA Tour.
It said he's had 164 PGA Tour starts since he made his professional golfing debut in 2010. So that's a huge, huge accomplishment.
Huge. But Tommy Fleetwood, just real quick, babe, and I know this is your bit.
It's okay. It's fine.
Just to tell everybody, Tommy Fleetwood is a very, very well-liked and respected golfer, known as one of the really nice guys on the tour. Everyone loves Tommy Fleetwood. Dylan knows who he is and pulls for him. I think he's a great guy. He's just a real positive guy that's had a lot of setbacks in his career, as far as he'd get really close, then he'd blow it on the last day, on like the last couple of holes. And everyone's like, man, how come Tommy Fleetwood can't break through? Well, he did this last weekend. He finally won a tournament.
When he won, his wife was not there.
I noticed that.
She was watching at home on TV, assuming that's across the pond, right?
It is. It was.
So instead of his wife being there to congratulate him, he was hugged by friends and, other golfers in Atlanta. And some are saying it's because she didn't want to deal with the public scrutiny of their 23-year age gap. She is 57, a year younger than me. And he is 34. So she's even a little more coorish than I was. Tommy's rep didn't immediately respond to any comments. Page 6 and all these other outlets have been asking. But he did say after the win that he's always so lucky with the support he gets from fans. But why wasn't she there? Now, a couple of years ago, she did a podcast. Well, they did it together and talked about the age gap. It did come up. So they met in 2015 through his brother, who worked with the Hambrick Sports Management. He worked with her there. They had a son together in September of 2017. His name's Frankie. So he's 7 now. He'll be 8 next month. And they got married in the Bahamas 3 months after Frankie was born.
I didn't know all that.
So this is, they were talking about 2 years ago, and she also has 2 sons from a previous relationship. So when you see family photos of them together, those are not his sons. They were from a previous relationship. The youngest Frankie is theirs.
I think one of those boys was there, because one of the first guys to run out and give him a hug, the announcer said that was his stepson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Claire said to the podcast, it's called the Performance People Podcast. She said, of course she turned down Tommy's proposal when he asked the first time, telling him, don't be stupid. She said she was really paranoid about what other people would think. And Tommy was, made a joke of it. He said she eventually gave in. I think I'll just give her some time. And then I didn't mess up. But she said that she was paranoid about it. And is that what kept her from being there? I hate that if you're going to do it, do it. Be loud and proud. And man, she looks great. I don't understand why she couldn't be there for him at arguably one of the biggest moments of his life.
Yeah.
That's gotta.
Do we know for sure that's the reason?
Well,
why?
That's what everybody is assuming. Now, what if she was walking to the kitchen and twisted her elbow or her ankle and couldn't walk?
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
I don't know. I mean,
is it because she was paranoid and didn't want to deal with the public scrutiny?
Could be, but I do know that players' wives, they don't go to like every single tournament. But like you say, this is like the quote Super Bowl of the PGA Tour.
Yeah. You are going to love Legacy Box. Becoming a parent changes how you look at memories. While we're savoring and saving every moment with our kids, suddenly you start to realize a lot of important memories from our childhood, they're trapped on VHS tapes. camcorder tapes, photo albums, crammed into boxes labeled "do not throw away" and shoved into an attic. Those are at risk of being destroyed by heat, moisture, disaster, time. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you need Legacy Box now. They're the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. And the process is so simple. They send you a Legacy Box and you fill it up with old VHS tapes, pictures, film reels, slides, DVDs, whatever you've got. Their team in Tennessee carefully digitizes it all by hand. They send you back the originals plus digital files on the cloud or a thumb drive. Ordering a Legacy Box is one of the best things I've done for my family, because now instead of just telling my kids about that crazy vacation I took to the mountains when I was a kid, I get to show them and relive it with them. And right now, during Legacy Box's Father's Day sale, you can save big while preserving your family's history. Visit legacybox.com/sandwich to get started today. That's legacybox.com/sandwich. It's the little things that make a big difference in how I feel. Now, for me right now, it's about stretching. I didn't realize how stiff I was until I started doing it. I love when I can stretch a little further than before. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done. And you know, a little makeup refresh can make all the difference too with Thrive Cosmetics, my go-to clean makeup routine year-round. Now, of course, their brilliant eye brightener and Stella champagne is always in my makeup bag. Actually, I need to reorder more. I'm almost out. But it comes in 32 shades, and the Shenna Mint Green Shimmer looks really fun for summer. Their Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon, it's really amazing. It gives you a beautiful color that lasts without feeling dry. They have 18 buildable shades, and I love the Dusty Rose Kaisa color. I think that's how you pronounce it. But the best part, for every product you buy, Thrive donates products and funds to help communities thrive. So far, they've given over $150 million in products and cash to over 600 giving partners. This is beauty with purpose. Amplify your summer look with Thrive Cosmetics. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/sandwich for an exclusive 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/sandwich. I don't think I've ever talked about it on this podcast before, but one day I was walking past the windows going upstairs and I noticed this greasy cooking smell. You know what I mean? It turns out it was our blinds. Something about the sun was breaking them down over the years. And who knows how long they were there before we bought our house. We needed new blinds bad, and that's what led me to 3-Day Blinds. I absolutely loved how easy they made the whole process. They send a professionally trained design consultant to your home. It's a free, no obligation, same-day quote. And they've got thousands of options to fit any budget and style. It's not just blinds. They've got shades, shutters, drapery too. 3-Day Blinds even has those motorized smart blinds that work with Alexa. Those are so cool. They take all the measurements. They handle the installation too. And it's perfect because I'm not handy. And what a difference it's made. This is an upgrade that makes your whole house feel refreshed and polished without having to do a big renovation. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/sandwich for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to dayblinds.com/sandwich. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the 3dayblinds.com/sandwich.
You know, maybe it could have been, I'm just throwing this out. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe it could have been she knows he was fighting these demons of not being able to close a tournament. Like his previous 2 or 3 tournaments, he was close and he blew it on the last day, on the last couple of holes. So maybe she thought, you know, he's playing well. He's going to be in contention at the end of this thing. And if he blows it again, man, that's going to be hard.
Wouldn't she want to be there to help him pick up the pieces?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here I am,
just,
my judgy pants.
I'm being judgy pants too.
I just
know.
wish she would have been there. I thought that was a real miss on her part. But then again, I don't know the backstory, and it could have been something very legitimate and not just her paranoia.
That's true. Yeah.
And then like I was looking around on the internet, you know, as I peruse some days.
That means look.
Yes, I was looking on the internet, and it was saying that the marriage rate, oh, by the way, congratulations, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on their engagement. You know, the marriage rate is up. Or actually, it's not up. It's low compared to the past 2 decades.
No, I thought the marriage rate was down.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading. It's down compared to the last 2 decades when the number of marriages hovered around 7 to 8 per 1,000 people a year. The number of people legally calling it quits has been dwindling, though, following the lengthy period during the pandemic when weddings and dates were put on hold. So that was a little silver lining to the lockdowns. But a lot of the divorce rate, didn't a lot of people decide I don't want to be in this marriage anymore during COVID? It actually made our marriage stronger. We were lucky like that. But the divorce rate in 2022 was 2.4 per 1,000, down from 4 per 1,000 in the year 2000.
That doesn't sound right.
That's what it says.
Doesn't sound right.
That's what it says.
So the divorce rate was 0.02%?
It was 2.4 per 1,000. This is 2022. That's the late. It takes a while to get all the statistics.
Something's not right. So for every 1,000 marriages, there were only 2.4 divorces? That's not right.
That's what it's saying. Well, don't they say more than half the marriages end in divorce now?
Right. So that would be 500.
I don't know.
Yeah, something's off on that statistic.
But that means eventually. Maybe that's just the ones that are filing during that period.
Oh, I don't know.
People get divorced after 40 years of marriage because they can't stand living one more minute with them. Anyway, you want to know how you prevent divorce?
Please tell me.
All right. So helping out around the house is one of the easiest things men can do to keep their marriages happy. Mm-hmm. A divorce lawyer named Sarah Corcoran, she does a lot of TikTok videos because she deals with divorce all the time, and says a spouse who never participates in household chores often breeds resentment in the other spouse. There's not going to be one incident that results in some extreme fight that ends the marriage. It's a slow burn. Mm-hmm. She suggests men specifically make sure they don't leave their wives to check off everything on the to-do list by themselves. She said, my advice to you guys out there, if you want to stay married, empty the dishwasher once in a while.
What are you looking at me for?
Just saying. See what you have to say about that.
I have to say about that I think you are very pleased with the amount of household.
You can do more.
Well, wow.
You could do more.
Wow.
You could.
Examples, please.
Like the dishes that are just left in the sink, and then I have to huff and slam them in the dishwasher, which you don't realize I'm doing it a little louder than normal.
Put up all my dishes last night. The bowl and the rice maker that's in the sink right now, they're soaking in Dawn.
You did.
For a reason.
I know.
Okay.
But you could still do that more often.
Why y'all bickering?
We're not.
Kellie and Al are always bickering. I can't listen to this thing.
You could just do more. A Stanford associate professor of sociology, Michael Rosenfeld, said he thinks marriage as an institution has been a little bit slow to catch up with the expectations of gender equality. Wives still take their husbands' surnames and are sometimes pressured to do so, but husbands still expect their wives to do the bulk of the housework and the bulk of childcare.
I disagree with Mr. Rosenfeld.
The bulk.
Yeah, I don't expect you
the bulk
to do the majority of the housework. I don't think that's my attitude.
Maybe we perceive things differently. If you want to know whether your marriage is headed for divorce, check your spouse's face. And Kid Craddock said this 30 years ago when I first started working with him, and he's right. And this is another psychologist that came out with the same finding. Have you ever heard of John Gottman? He's got like an Instagram, the Gottman Institute, and they really focus on marriage and relationships and successful marriages.
Okay.
But he was behind one of the most extensive marriage studies ever conducted. And he said that subtle smirk of superiority, when you kind of like raise one side of your mouth, that subtle smirk
like this
might be the number one red flag that divorce is coming. His research, which they just had another like therapist, they were on the Unplanned podcast talking about the findings, said there are 4 nasty little habits: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
Yes.
Those are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse when it comes to doomed relationships.
Yes, I have heard
this. But it is contempt that is the true kiss of death. Body language expert Vanessa Van Edwards, she was on that podcast, and she talked about how John Gottman brought all these couples into his lab, and if one member of the couple showed a one-sided mouth raise, like a little sneer toward the other, like, He said he could tell if they were going to get divorced because he was looking for contempt. And that was the sign he was looking for, that little sneer of superiority. And he predicted divorce 93.6% accuracy.
Wow.
It's that little sneer.
So what if John Gottman rolled Kellie Raspberry Evans and Walter A. in there, looked at their faces?
Well, I roll my eyes. You know, some like kid used to say eye rolling, like, but I do it not in a marriage therapy office. You know, not marriage counseling. I do it on the podcast.
What would John Gottman think about flipping me the bird behind my back?
It's behind your back and not to your face.
But what would he think about that?
But see, I'm getting it out of my system and not building up the resentment.
He should have put that on the list of those 4 things: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling, and flipping the bird behind your husband's back.
I'm doing it to release tension so I don't build up that slow burn of contempt.
Okay.
So back to Vanessa. She said contempt is the most corrosive of all emotional saboteurs. She said fear comes in a burst.
Good night, mate.
Then you calm down. Happiness comes, then you go back to normal. Anger comes, then you calm down, but not contempt. If you feel scorn or disdain for someone else, and if it's not addressed, because you can't address it, it festers and grows. That's why at the end of a marriage, you have 2 people who can't even look at each other. She said, if you even catch a whiff of contempt, either coming from you or from your spouse, tackle it head on. Ask, what's going on? Are you okay? What are you feeling? I want to be here for that. Because then you're giving air to whatever the contempt is, so you can address it, and then you can either fix it or, you know, become a united enemy against it.
You know, I can happily report for myself anyway that I don't feel a lot of contempt
Towards me or anyone?
No, towards you. Well, I wouldn't say towards anyone, but towards you. I've never felt that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Have you ever flipped me
well,
off
I'm
behind my
about to
back?
feel some contempt because now you're
I'm just
using me as
raising
a step stool.
I'm giving my ankle. I'm elevating it because it hurts.
Okay.
Are you contemptful?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to be totally transparent with the listener. You just got a low battery indication warning light on your laptop.
I did.
So if you don't finish this up pretty quick, that you're going to cut them off.
Well, that was pretty much all I had to say.
Oh, okay.
But she also said that most couples or many couples get stuck in endless loops of the same 3 arguments and don't realize it. And she didn't say what the arguments are, but she says...
Oh, I know what ours are.
Your housework.
No.
Oh, what? My ailments.
No, not your ailments.
What are our 3 arguments?
Fiddling with the controls, the air controls in the car.
That is so ridiculous. Why can you not let it go? Do you know how many times I
go,
sit there on
let it
in the
go.
passenger seat and I let the air blow in my eyes, drying my eyeballs out?
Drying your eyeballs out?
Because I know the minute I move the vent out of my face, you're going to say something.
See,
You just don't
listener,
let me. You just don't let me move the vent.
Good,
Why
strong,
can't you
dare,
just let me
sweet, clean
adjust
listener.
the vent?
See, I have a Tesla, and in a Tesla, you have this big iPad screen that controls everything. So I think Kellie just likes getting in there, and you pinch and zoom.
Yeah.
To
And get the air.
to move the controls for the air, and I think Kellie just likes playing with it.
Look, when I'm hot, I
Likes
want
playing
air
with it.
blasting on me.
Yeah.
And then my eyes start to get dry. So then I have to spread the vents out so they're not right in my face.
Right.
And you're over there with your look of contempt and sneering at me. This has been an ongoing fight
Yes.
about controlling the AC. I don't adjust your temperature anymore. I'm just adjusting my airflow.
Yeah.
Why is this a never-ending fight for us?
I don't know. It is for you. It's not for me.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Well, that was good stuff, babe. So you had some really good value add.
I might have saved or destroyed a marriage.
Serious information there. I'm gonna go the opposite direction. And this is relationship stuff. But I would say most of our listeners, a majority, are gals.
Okay.
I think that that's just our demographic. Our demographic is...
I don't know why, because you're so lewd. And women don't typically prefer lewdness.
It's 35 to 55, the majority of our listeners, and a majority, or 8 out of 10 are ladies. So what I have for you ladies, hey, and guys.
The 2 out of 10?
Yeah. I have a list, and people love lists.
You're doing the list and letters?
Yeah.
This is a jam-packed podcast.
It's a short list, and I'm going to read the items on this list, and I want you to comment on whether or not you do these to your man.
Okay.
So this list consists of Just about 12 or 15. I can't
12 or
really
15?
Yeah.
Oh my
How
gosh.
to rage bait a man.
Okay.
So this would basically be, you're not trying to clap back at your man. You're purposely trying to rage bait or tick off your man.
I don't think I do that.
Well, let's read the list and see how many of these you've done, babe.
Why would I purposely want to make you mad?
Number 1, what sport would you play if you were athletic?
Me? You? What are you asking me? I don't understand the question.
Let me read the title of the list one more time. How to rage bait a man.
Oh, so I would say that to you?
Number 1, what sport would you play if you were athletic?
So a woman would say that to her man. I've never said that to you.
Okay. Were you homeschooled?
Well, that's just insulting.
Right.
You're trying to pick a fight. I've never said
You're
that.
also insulting everyone who's homeschooled,
Well, you know.
which isn't cool. Number 3, whatever makes you feel big and strong.
Maybe I would say something like that.
Wow.
I guess it just depends on the situation.
Whatever makes you feel big and strong.
Well, like if you, okay, here's an example, like how
Not
I
to be
might say
confused
it.
with Trey Gullidge, big strong.
Like if there was a task at the house that
Let's
you
move this.
that you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I leave my
Because it was
foot?
making my feet fall asleep.
Okay, well,
It's
no,
making my
I'm gonna do
legs
this.
fall asleep.
My ankle is killing me. I'm putting my foot now up on the desk, which is making Alan very mental. If there was a task you were trying to accomplish, which I knew it was like maybe outside of your limitations, and it would be like, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. All right. If you think you can do it, it might be in that situation, but that wouldn't be rage baiting. That would be more like trying to warn you against hurting yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Whatever you say, princess.
I wouldn't say princess, but I'd say whatever you say. Whatever you say.
I mean, never good to call your man princess.
I would never call you princess, but I would say whatever you say.
Number 5, buddy.
I've accidentally called you buddy, but only because I call the boys buddy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but never in a demeaning way.
Yeah. That's one of those.
I've accidentally, it's like, hey, bud. And I don't,
Yeah.
and I do that to the boys.
Right. That's one of those words like chief or pal. Boss.
You got boss so many
gosh,
times the
I
other
get
day at IHOP.
constantly
I thought he
bossed.
was cute.
He
All
wa-
right,
he-
boss. What
he-
can I get you, boss?
He was very nice. Number 6, you seem like you don't have sisters.
No, I've never said that.
Number 7, you look easy to draw.
No, that's just rude.
Number 8, you look like you read with your finger.
No.
Number 9, how tall do you wish you were?
No.
He's kind of making fun of how short
Well, that's
he
if
is.
you were short, but you're
Right.
tall, so why would I say that to you?
You look like you can't swim. Me too, bro.
Me too, bro?
Mm-hmm.
You look like you can't swim. Me too, bro. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. You look like you're afraid of heights.
No.
These things are all just mean.
Yeah, this people picking a fight.
Do you cut your own hair?
Well, that could be a question. You know, and a lot of men do.
You look like your first friend was imaginary.
Oh, see, that's just trying to
I had
hurt
an
somebody.
imaginary friend when I was a kid.
You did?
Yeah, well, when I would play with, this is when I was little, but like when I would play with like Star Wars stuff, you know, like figurines and stuff, like they're fighting and stuff, I would have a little imaginary friend there fighting with me.
Did he have a name?
I don't remember. I just remember there was a little imaginary friend sitting there with me playing.
Really?
Yes.
Could you visualize what he looked like?
No.
You just knew he was
It was
there.
invisible. God's honest truth, babe.
I believe you.
Yeah,
I
serious.
would play with my dolls by myself, but I never imagined somebody else was there with me.
No, I remember playing with these Star Wars figures and my imaginary friend was sitting there right next to me, but he was invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's new information.
Yeah, that's new information. It didn't
So
last.
now when I say you look like your first friend was imaginary,
That might be
then
true.
that would be absolutely 100% factual.
And then the last one, nice pixie cut.
Aw. See, I've never made fun of your haircuts.
You know, I don't know that
Those are just not nice.
all of those, I don't think a lot of married couples would say those things to one another.
No.
This would be like, I think if you're dating somebody and then the relationship is
They just hate you.
starting to go downhill.
Yeah, they just hate you.
Yeah.
They're looking for a way out.
So don't say any of those.
No, don't say that.
Yeah, I recommend to not say any
Unless
of those.
you run into Alan and say, you look like your first friend was imaginary, then that would be true. People can say that to you.
Okay. Last time I share anything with you. We have some letters. We just have a couple of letters. Do you have anything else?
No, my computer is dying on top of everything else.
Okay. This first letter is from Pam. Subject: Hi, guys. Just love listening, but sometimes a little behind. No comments about my little behind, Alan. Well, Pam, I haven't seen your little behind, but if you want to forward me a picture.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just
he
wondering-
is joking.
I'm just wondering if there's any way the podcast could be dated like the Kid Craddock in the Morning ones are. It would give some kind of time reference for what you're discussing. Just a thought, hear me out. Pam, when you sent me this letter, the first thing I did, I went to Apple Podcasts and I looked at A Sandwich and Some Lovin', and there is a date on every one. It's the date that it was uploaded. Now, you may be listening on a different platform where perhaps they don't date them. I don't know. But on Apple Podcasts,
but is she asking us
they
to
are
say,
dated.
Is she asking us to say, today is August, whatever today is? Is that what she's wanting us to do, to say it?
I don't know. It just says anyway the podcast could be dated.
I mean, there's always a way we could say what date it is.
You could,
We
but
could say it's like, but see, we record it the day before, usually before it drops. So we would say it's the day we recorded it or the day it uploads. It's very confusing. We're small-minded people. You look like you're small-minded. You can't scroll your phone for more than 30 seconds without seeing somebody talking about GLP-1s. Maybe you've been close to trying them, but you're not a needle person, or maybe you're looking for a natural alternative. Well, let me introduce you to our podcast sponsor, Veracity. Their Metabolism Ignite, it's a natural plant-based GLP-1 alternative that is doctor recommended and clinically proven to help reduce hunger. Just 2 capsules with breakfast every morning. It's all you need. And one of the first things I noticed was I wasn't thinking about food all day. That food noise you always are constantly battling. Metabolism Ignite has no allergens, no caffeine, no negative side effects, and we love that. It's shown to reduce hunger by 85% and clinically proven to help lose an average of 9 pounds in 90 days. We really love that. Look, this stuff is sold out 10 times for a reason. So before it sells out again, make the switch to GLP-1s the natural way. Head to veracityhealth.co and use sandwich for up to 65% off your order. Once again, that's VERACITY health.co for up to 65% off. Make sure you use our promo code SANDWICH so they know we sent you. I think everybody's had that moment where they say, I should start my own business. Now, maybe you've got an amazing hot sauce recipe, or you've gotten really great at making candles or jewelry, and all your friends keep telling you you should sell that stuff. Well, what's stopping you? If you've been sitting on a business idea, Shopify makes it easy to make it happen. Everything you need to start selling is included and ready from day one. When your first customer is ready to buy, Shopify checkout helps more people actually complete the purchase. And when they come back, their information's already saved. So checkout is quick and easy. One tap and they're done. Shopify handles all the technical stuff too, the setup and checkout, so you can spend your time growing your business and doing what you actually love. It's no wonder Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses just getting started like yours. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/sandwich. That's shopify.com/sandwich. One more time, shopify.com/sandwich. Now that I've reached a certain age, I realize how much my sleep affects me and everybody around me. It affects my energy, my mood, my patience. And I've also learned that I don't need to waste a lot on fancy sleep gadgets, because one of the best things I've done is upgrade to Boll and Branch sheets. I noticed the difference from night one. They are incredibly soft, so breathable. It's because Boll and Branch's sheets are made with 100% organic cotton that's woven specifically for airflow. Now I don't wake up feeling hot with sheets
sticking to my legs anymore. My sheets keep me cool and comfortable all night long. And they've actually gotten softer with every wash. They even did a survey of their customers. 94% of them said the same thing. I love my Boll & Branch sheets, and honestly, I can't imagine ever going back to any other bedding. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll & Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/sandwich with code SANDWICH. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/sandwich. Code SANDWICH to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/sandwich, code SANDWICH. Exclusions apply.
Okay, this next letter is from Deanna. Subject, a bone to pick with you.
You, me, or you?
No,
you?
me.
Good.
Why is it, and this was one of my questions, why is it whenever there's a bone to pick
It's with you?
on this podcast, on my podcast, why
On our podcast.
Yes, on our podcast. Why is it that it's always a bone to pick with me?
Why would you think that is? If you had to guess.
Because I take a hard line on things? I don't know. Because I'm prick-ish? I don't know.
Well, why don't you find out what her
Why
problem
am
is?
I talking like this?
Find out what her problem is.
Well, she doesn't have a problem. I'm just embellishing a little
Okay.
bit. But if you remember, good, strong, dear, sweet, clean listener, last week I talked about a service called Dutch.com. Hashtag not an ad. I just
Yet, hopefully, they would love to come on as a sponsor.
Their people want to talk to our people.
Well,
Just saying.
You just got to return that phone call.
I do. So I just needed a prescription refill for HeartGuard, which is a heartworm medicine, a preventative for both dogs. I'm retelling the story from last week, but just real quick. I didn't really want to take him to the vet at $200 a piece.
More than that, probably.
Okay, more
Every
than
time we
$200
go in there.
More than $200 a piece.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to get a prescription for the medication.
Right.
So I looked online, found Dutch.com. They have veterinarians, real doctors here. You do a Zoom call. They ask you the questions, what's going on with your pet, blah, blah, blah. Got the prescription. The service is like $50 a year or something like that.
Something like that.
They can see up to 5 pets. The Zoom calls take 10 minutes. The next day, I had my prescription, ordered the medication. We got it. The dogs have had it.
There you go.
Boom, done, over. That's
Way cheaper.
Way cheaper. Now, when I had the appointment with the vet did say, now look, I recommend once a year you do get a heartworm test on your pets. I understand it's expensive at the vet. That's why you're talking to me. But sometimes humane shelters will do heartworm tests. There are other ways to get a heartworm test. Her recommendation was to at least once a year get a test. So I'm throwing that out. Okay. So Deanna sends me a letter. She says, I have a bone to pick with you. Hello, Alan and Kellie. So Deanna's going to give us, she is a I don't want to mess up your title, Deanna, but I believe either a vet or a veterinarian technician. But anyhow, she has got the alternate viewpoint here.
Okay.
So she says, hello, Alan and Kellie. Let me start with, I love you both a ton. I'm an avid listener of all the podcasts and the radio show. I've written you many times before. You've read several of my letters. Kellie is also
an active participant.
Yes. This is a very best customer. Kellie has also read one of my letters on love letters. Kellie,
Aww.
I'm listening to last Thursday's podcast where you discuss Dutch.com. I'm a veterinarian student. Okay. A veterinarian student at LSU. At first, I was frustrated while listening, thinking, these are the types of clients that are going to drive me nuts. Wow. But I wanted to take a moment to work it out. I'm happy you were able to use the online resource for heartworm prevention. You never want to lapse on that, but I cannot convey how important an annual physical exam is, especially as they get older. Let me tell you why. Our pets cannot tell us if anything is wrong. There are things found on annual exams that you would never know as an owner. For example, a heart murmur, which are very common for different reasons. There's a reason a doctor, human and animal, have to have done an exam to fill a script for you within at most 18 months. Medical changes can sometimes require a change in preventions. For example, some preventions have rare side effects like seizures. So depending on a physical exam, your vet may determine that prevention they've been on for years isn't appropriate anymore. Preventions are chemical compounds like any other medication after all. 3, preventions can fail. My 2-year-old baby has been on preventions his whole life and just tested positive for heartworms. Sad face. There is increasing heartworm resistance to some preventions. It's very important to test them and reevaluate prevention types every year, as well as do a fecal test, because all preventions don't prevent all intestinal parasites. For example,
Do you want me to do it?
coccidia?
Okay.
Coccidia.
Is it with 4 cocks or just the one?
Well, 4 are probably better than 1, but I do not recommend online healthcare for pets.
Well,
as humans, we can tell the doc on the other end of the video call what hurts and what we're feeling. The vet's exam of your pet is equivalent to verbal communication you have with your doc. Instead of focusing on the total bill, please consider the importance of each itemized procedure. A basic annual includes a wellness exam, heartworm, tick-borne disease test, fecal screening, and core vaccines that vary depending on where you're located, but typically always include rabies and a combo vaccine that includes distemper and parvo. And no, parvo is not just a puppy disease.
all right.
Well,
Well,
hold on. She's almost done.
okay.
I felt I would be doing you a disservice by not sharing my tidbit of knowledge and didn't want to sit here mad at you. Laughing
Don't be mad.
Laughing till crying emoji. Get those babies in for their annual soon. Love you both so good. Deanna.
All right, Deanna.
Comments, please.
Well, see, Deanna's under the impression
Yes.
that our dogs are normal dogs. I'm talking about Larry, who would only require 1 annual examination per year. Larry has a myriad of issues that require me to take him in, and it's always the same prescriptions, right?
That's been our experience.
It's been our experience.
Yes.
It's either ear issues, scooting issues.
That's where you drag your butthole on the carpet. Yeah.
He even had a huge growth on his lip, had to have that surgically removed. I wouldn't have done that with a televisit.
No.
So,
no.
I just feel like there are, like just with televisits for humans, a lot of times when I kind of already know what the problem is, I'm like, we just needed the refill of the heartworm medicine, right?
Yeah.
But if he was having like
A seizure.
lethargic or something, like something's wrong,
Pooping blood.
absolutely, I'd take him
then
in
we'd have
for
to
that.
take him in.
I'd
Sure.
take him in for
Sure.
that. But for something routine, like getting his itch medicine refilled,
Right.
but to have to go in and get, well, since he's here, we haven't done this in a while, we haven't done that in a while. I'm like, oh my God. And I swear every time it's $300, we walk out of there.
At least.
And it's just like, did we really? And you don't want to, and I don't like being guilted. This vet, thankfully, this vet is unlike my last vet, who every time I went in there started guilting me about teeth cleanings and all that stuff. This one doesn't try guilting me into those kind of things. Yet it's just so much. I have a friend who never takes her dogs to the vet, ever.
And that's not an exaggeration.
That's not. She grew up in the country.
They're like free range dogs.
Free range dogs. She grew up in the country. Dogs are dogs. It's the circle of life.
They're like jackals.
Good luck. How healthy are those dogs? Her dogs live for years and years and years. So, there's something to be said for that free range dogging. But, we do. When we got Larry, we were told he didn't have heartworms. And then at his very next appointment, suddenly he had heartworms. And he was just a puppy. And I remember I was so upset because the heartworm treatment is where they have to be perfectly still and they have to be kenneled and they can't move for like weeks and weeks. I might be a little wrong on the time. It was long. And I was like, I cannot do that to this dog. And I had somebody, a vet tech, call in and she said, well, you can try the slow kill method. And that's just where you just keep giving them heartworm medicine. Just keep giving it to them every month like normal. And it took a couple years, but guess what?
No heartworms.
He doesn't have heartworms. So, there's different schools of thought. There's old country doctor schools of thought. and there's city doctors' school of thought, but I mean,
yeah.
I'm not trying to fuss at you at all, and I appreciate what you're saying.
we're not
But
fussing.
literally, if there is something like, I would take him to the doctor. But this was just for a refill of his heartworm medicine that we have had him on forever anyway.
Yeah. But to Deanna's point, you and I, we're not vets. We don't know what we're talking about. I'm just telling you what our experience was. I'm not recommending one over the other. But if a vet or a vet student is saying, you should take your dog in regularly for an exam, you should probably do that. And I think we do that.
Once a year thing?
We do that more than once a year. So,
It's every time I turn around.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what my experience was with getting that heartworm prevention quickly. So, hey, works for some people, but for some people it may not. But that's all good.
Don't be mad. Please don't be mad.
Oh, she's not. She wasn't mad. I didn't take her letter to be mad at all. I like the ones, though, where the subject is like Alan, or I have a bone to pick with Alan, or why is Alan so lewd, or why is Alan prickish, or why is Alan always bickering and being mean to Kellie?
Yeah, those are my favorite.
We don't get those.
We don't?
I'm
Not lately.
Not very often. Sometimes.
Well, if y'all have a bone to pick with Alan, please feel free to share at podcast@kellyandalan.com.
Yes, I will take all of those under advisement. Some go to file 13 immediately. Some I kind of read them and I kind of laugh. Some I'll read on the podcast if I deem them appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to get up and try to go walk on my ankle now and see how that's going to work out.
Okay.
Ice it.
All right, babe. Well, this was fun. This is a good.
Was
little,
it?
Yeah, I think it
Was
was.
it?
Good little podcast there. I liked your starting off with the golf and Tommy Fleetwood. I love Tommy Fleetwood desperately. Glad he won. That was really great. Good information. I didn't know a lot about that, his family and all that stuff. That was,
there you go. It was an
pretty good.
informative podcast for you. That makes me happy.
And then what was the other one? How to rage bait a man. I don't know if that was very helpful, but
yeah, that was sort of like that thing I did a week or two ago where it's supposed to ask your husband these questions and watch him squirm. And it was like,
I was like, what?
This is lame.
I was like, what? I have no idea what meal I would make you on a grill.
Well, you did stumble. You really panicked on what meal to make me, though.
I did.
That was like,
I did.
I don't understand what was so hard about that.
Well, because I have been so out of Chef Alonzo mode for so long that I couldn't even remember like what I used to make.
Why don't you just make me something and see what happens?
I mean, I can, but it would be me defrosting some meat and taking it out there to the grill.
Hey, I'm all for that.
All right, babe.
Oh, by the time this airs, it'll be right before Labor Day. So happy Labor Day, everybody. All you in the workforce, laboring, taking the day off Monday, I hope.
Take the day off and don't do any labor.
Except for you, you're going to be grilling.
Yeah, I think we may do a little family cookout. We'll see.
If they ever answer us.
Yeah, I know. My mom and dad did. I haven't heard from Amanda and JD yet, though, but we will. All right, babe. Well, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
We love y'all.
I love Tommy Fleetwood desperately. I love Deanna and her bone to pick with me desperately. And Pam, thank you guys for sending in your letters. They're always fun to read.
Podcast@kellyandalan.com for any and all correspondence. You can also slide into our DMs on Instagram or Facebook.
And I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.